Good evening. Please remain standing for a playing of the national anthem by Mr. Connor Hoyt. Next, please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Class Treasurer William Regan.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good evening, faculty, families, friends, administration, and distinguished guests, and welcome to Foxboro High School's 2019 Class Night. It is my pleasure to welcome you tonight in celebrating the accomplishments of our class, which has distinguished success academically, athletically, artistically, and musically. Next, it is my great pleasure to introduce our class Vice President, Mr. Jacob Warius, who will give his welcoming address.
Members of the Class 2019, you may be seated. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the 2019 Class Night. Tonight's ceremony is a celebration of the many achievements of these young men and women gathered before you over their 4 years at Foxboro High School. This group includes some of the most hardworking and involved individuals that I've had the pleasure of meeting in my entire life. These past few years hold some of the most influential and memorable experiences of our lives, have united us with some of our closest friends, and have prepared us for our new journey ahead of us. I'm certain that no matter what path these students may take into the future, whether it be pursuing higher education, going into the military, or entering the workforce, they will better the community they become a part of. While we may face some challenges as we transition to this next part of our lives, I have no doubt in my mind that this class will overcome whatever obstacles they may face and accomplish their goals. I look forward to seeing what you will all achieve in the future. We have a long night ahead of us, so without further ado, members of the class of 2019, it was an honor serving as your Vice President, and congratulations on your many accomplishments.
Go too far. I wouldn't go too far. It is now my pleasure to introduce Miss Ellen Pillsbury.
Good evening. Yeah. Okay. Today at the senior cookout, the students received their yearbooks and got the opportunity to see the senior video, which was phenomenal. This year, I had the honor of working with two outstanding students who, without their dedication to the yearbook, would not be possible. These students spent many hours at school planning, reviewing, changing, and putting the finishing touches on the pages. Seniors looking through your yearbook, remember that the yearbook staff wanted to capture your senior year here at Foxboro High School and preserve your memories forever. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the 2019 yearbook staff. Please join me in welcoming senior editors, Caroline Donahue and Lindsay Young. It has been a delight to work with these two talented students. I will miss them dearly, and I will miss their daily visits to my office, their laughter, and our talks. It's been lovely to have you both as yearbook editors this year. I would also like to acknowledge Colby DaCosta, who has worked closely with me for the last 2 years on the yearbook.
Would Jessica Head please come up and give the yearbook dedication?
I remember the first time I met Mr. Murray. I honestly had no clue what kind of a person he was, and I was pretty nervous to meet him. Little did I know he would end up being my favorite teacher. Before I had him, history was not my favorite subject. I really wasn't interested in it, but after being in his class for only a year, he changed my whole attitude toward it. He made the class fun and very interesting. My cousin also had Mr. Murray when he was in high school, and as soon as I told him I had him for history, he was so excited. He had nothing but good things to say about him. Mr. Murray is honestly one of the kindest people I have ever met. He is very understanding, which I cannot thank him enough for. He is seriously the best teacher, and I am so happy this year's yearbook is dedicated to him.
Excuse me, Mr. Murray wanted me to tell you guys that he's not being rude, but his middle daughter has class night tonight in Milford, so he's out of here with his family. So
Good evening. Tonight I have the distinct privilege of honoring several retirees from Foxboro High School. Miss Nancy Murray from the PAVE program, Miss Linda Flaherty, Miss Donna Severse, and Miss Judy Wavell from Food Services at Foxboro High School. Vice President Warius, Secretary Sharkey, and Treasurer Regan, would you please join me on stage? It is my pleasure this evening to dedicate tonight in part to Mr. Gary Good. Mr. Good was a custodian for Foxboro High School for many years. If there were one word to describe him, it would be giving. He's an incredible person who treated every student he ever interacted with extremely kindly. Whatever any student needed or asked about, he would answer promptly and always with a smile. Mr. Good had a very unique area of the school assigned to him. He was the custodian for the music suite and main office area. When I first met him, I was a shy sophomore looking to get into the music office because I had accidentally locked something in there, which eventually became a typical thing. He, of course, replied with a smile, immediately stopped what he was doing, and helped me get in there and introduced himself. That's just who Gary is, and we are incredibly lucky to have had him serve our school. Another memorable moment I have of Gary was when a peer of mine accidentally rammed a stack of chairs straight into a water fountain, nearly knocking it clean off the wall, causing a massive leak. I went running around the corner looking for him, and I was expecting to be reprimanded for what had happened. Instead, despite being very red in the face, he just looked up and said, "It's okay, we'll fix this." Of course, I went running then to get paper towels, shocked I had not been scolded. Mr. Good, while you were here, you served our school and students tremendously, especially considering your zone some nights didn't clear out until 9:30 p.m. or well after. We feel so lucky to have had you on our faculty and take great pleasure in dedicating our class night to you. You are simply the best of us. Would you please come up stage and join us as we present you with your gifts?
Okay, I've been dreading this, but I'll give it a shot. First of all, I want to thank the class of 2019 for inviting me here and dedicating the night. Over the years, I've met so many wonderful people from the administrations on down, teachers, staff, but especially the students. And I am a little partial to the students involved in the music program, you know. But they've treated me well over the years. Always invited to their potluck suppers, and just treated me with a lot of kindness and respect, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'd like to thank everyone and, once again. And I'd like to wish the class of 2019 good luck and much success. Okay? Okay, thank you.
All right. And I am honored this evening to dedicate tonight's ceremony in part to Miss Eileen Warnett. Ms. Warnett has served as the guidance secretary for many years and has played a role in the lives of every student before you today. She played a large part in the college decision process and was always there to assist any students in any of their guidance-related issues. Thanks to Ms. Warnett, I felt confident that the guidance department would always have someone I could approach whenever I entered that room. I don't remember a single time where Ms. Warnett greeted me without a smile, and that friendliness was much appreciated by me and many others. Ms. Warnett was always there to help, even in her off hours. For example, during the college application process, I had realized that I had missed an important deadline, so I sent her an email asking how I should resolve the issue. Despite it being the weekend and her time off, Ms. Warnett quickly responded to my email, giving me instructions on what to do. While it may not seem like much, the fact that she took the time out of her day to ease the concerns of a student shows how kind of a person she is. Ms. Warnett, thank you for serving our school and students so well, both during and outside of your working hours. While it is unlikely, I hope that my college advisors will be just as wonderful as you. We are truly fortunate to have you as our guidance secretary, and I am honored to dedicate the class of 2019 class night to you. May you join us on stage.
This is a total shock to me. I had no idea, so this is the most wonderful thing. To be honored, really. I just love working here and being here for the students. I treat them all like they're my own, giving out hugs and advice, and just helping them with anything that they need. And I cannot tell you how much I really appreciate this. Thank you so very much, and good luck to all of you.
Next, I'd like to introduce again Class Vice President, Mr. Jacob Warius, who will introduce each of our staff tribute speakers.
First off, I'd like to call up Sophia DeCenzo, who will be speaking on behalf of Mr. Servideo.
Sorry. The year was 2010 when my oldest brother entered the high school. Little did Mr. Servideo know that he would have almost 10 more years ahead of him dealing with the DeCenzo kids. I heard through my siblings that Mr. Servideo was the man to find when in need of class advice, college advice, and ways to avoid high school drama. After my 4 years at Foxboro High School, I can honestly say that Mr. Servideo has surpassed my expectations of what a guidance counselor is supposed to be. With a genuine interest in my life, he always made an effort to check in on me. Whether I was going to be late to every class or he had places to be, Mr. Servideo would always have an open door for me to chat in his office. One of the best qualities he has is his ability to listen. And let me tell you, I can talk. I can't thank you enough, Mr. Servideo, for listening to me all these years and guiding me throughout the emotional roller coaster of high school. You were able to give me a lifetime of advice, but I'd like to think that I gave you one piece of advice that will last a lifetime. You can still be a cool dad, even though you drive a minivan. But in all seriousness, to know that one adult in the school had my back and was always there for me meant the world to me and my family, so thank you.
Next up, I'd like to call up Megan Curran to the stage, who will be speaking for Miss Deborah Grant.
Good evening. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. Deciding who to honor tonight was not an easy choice to make, as I've been lucky enough to have such great and supportive teachers throughout my 4 years at Foxboro. However, one teacher that has undoubtedly had the strongest and most positive impact on me, not only as a student, but as a person, is Madame Grant. I have had the privilege of being a student of Madame Grant's all 4 years at the high school. And each year, her class has proved to be such a wonderful experience, as we were able to learn so much about the French language and culture while having fun doing so. Her class has instilled a profound fascination with language and French culture in both myself and my fellow classmates, as most of the students in our senior AP class this year are planning to continue studying French at the college level next year. Not only is Madame a wonderful teacher, but she is also one of the kindest and most supportive people that I have ever met. She consistently would brighten our days with her unwavering optimism and positive attitudes towards our endeavors. She could always understand when we were stressed or having a bad day and never failed to cheer us up. Even when she was sick on our exchange trip, she still found a way to come join us despite not feeling well. Madame did everything in class and on our exchange with all of us in mind. When we were in Paris, the flooding kept us from taking our bateau mouche ride on the Seine, so she quickly found us another activity to add to the itinerary, bringing us to one of the most beautiful art museums I have ever seen. and my personal favorite of the trip. Madame was so special as she was not only concerned with our academic performance, but was also always concerned with our happiness and well-being. We all view Madame as more like family than a teacher, and it is this unique quality about her that is what makes her so important in each of her students' lives. So, merci beaucoup pour tout, Madame, vous allez nous manquer.
Next up, I'd like to call Ben Dorman onto the stage, who will be speaking for Ms. Tadoldi.
Good evening. Recently, I was asked to talk about a decision that I made in 5th grade when I thought that band was too mainstream, and I certainly didn't have the guts to get up on the risers and sing. I didn't think that choosing orchestra would be drastically different than the other two. But it was different. It was different in that I would end up having the same teacher for 8 years, from 5th grade to senior year, which is how this teacher came to have such a profound impact on my life. After teaching me how to pluck my viola in the 5th grade, she taught me how to use my bow and how to rosin it, how to play with good intonation, how to play with good vibrato, how to count beats, measures, and rests. Then in high school, I'd wake up every morning at 7 a.m. to be there by 7:15, getting to play some of my favorite composers like Tchaikovsky, Mendelssohn, and John Williams, only to later go home and listen to more music, making more playlists of songs I'd one day hope to play. All of these aspects of music that I've listed, from learning to pluck to being taught composing patterns, all preside under this vast category of music, which a part of has been gifted to me. I am and will forever be unexplainably grateful for having been given this entire gift of a genre that many disregard, and for all other gifts like good intonation and vibrato, but most importantly for being able to call myself a musician. And for that, I owe all of my thanks to Ms. Tadoldi, Foxboro's K-12 music director, who comes early to conduct our string orchestra every morning, then heads to the middle school, where she works with some of our younger orchestras, only to return again to after-school rehearsals like sectionals and symphony. Essentially, she surrounded herself with music at all levels, all day, every day, helping each ensemble develop their sound, helping each individual player develop their sound. All in all, I have a lot of thanks to give, and I'm very lucky to have had such a good music mentor for 8 years. And I wish all the best for the orchestra for years to come, and many gold medal showcases at Symphony Hall. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call up Mr. James Duffy to the stage to speak on behalf of Mr. Kaiser.
Good evening, students, faculty, and members of the Foxboro community. I stand before you this evening to pay tribute to an individual who's managed to touch the lives of an innumerable amount of students who have walked the halls of this school over the past 26 years he has spent teaching here. Mr. Kaiser has managed to embed himself into so many people as the result of one simple truth. He cares. He cares about the students, the courses he teaches, and the community that he has an impact on every day he spends in it. I found that every time I set foot into his classroom, it was Mr. Kaiser's passion and enthusiasm that made me forget about the troubles and worries of other classes. I knew that each day I could count on at least 55 minutes where I'd get lost in whatever subject he was talking about at the time. But the days I enjoyed the most were the ones he'd just sit down and talk a little about life lessons. I know that at those times it seemed like I wasn't paying attention. I was just looking over study material for another class. But in reality, I was listening. And what I heard were the words of someone trying to leave a real positive impact on those around him. And that's exactly what you've done, Mr. Kaiser. You sent off another group of students touched by your words. Though I have enjoyed all of the lessons you have provided over the time that we have spent together, there's one that will stick with me the most. Treat others with just a bit of kindness, and you will see that down the road, when you find these people, they will return it and more. They will help you in a time of need because of a small act that you performed long ago. It is in this way you form long-lasting relationships and find help throughout life. So, Mr. Kaiser, I urge you, please keep teaching not only the history of the world, but also the ways to make it better, because it is those messages are the ones that I will remember long after I've forgotten the wars and battles that were fought in some distant land in a past time. Keep on teaching your students who walk through the doors the importance of history and how we may use our knowledge of it to make a better future. I know at times it may seem that your endless hours of labor to help the FHS community may feel unnoticed and unacknowledged, and that is why I stand before you today to say what you've done for us all means the world to all the classes you have taught, this class, and all of the classes to come. This world needs more people like you, Mr. Kaiser, but the fact that there's only one of you makes us that much more special to us all. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication, and please keep doing what you do and inspire the many classes to come.
Next up, I'd like to call Aiden Davin up to the stage, who will be speaking for Mrs. Geffers.
Good evening. A teacher is described as a person who provides instruction or education. However, this definition leaves out many of the responsibilities that teachers here at FHS take each and every day. We are lucky to have such an energetic and passionate staff here at Foxboro High, and I'd like to take this time to especially recognize Mrs. Geffers for truly embodying what it means to be a teacher. Outside of the classroom, many of us know Ms. Geffers from her work as the Student Council Advisor. Although I was never involved with Student Council, I was fortunate enough to work with Ms. Geffers in planning the annual Special Olympics pep rally toward the end of our junior year. I know I am speaking for all Best Buddies members when I say the pep rally is truly a special day that carries much excitement and anticipation every year. Ms. Geffers goes the extra mile to make sure each of the athletes competing in the games get handmade posters from their fellow classmates. The posters add to what is already a memorable day for all the athletes. The smile on the athletes' faces when their posters are brought in is priceless, and I want to thank Ms. Geffers for making moments like those possible. Anyone that has been lucky enough to have Ms. Geffers as a teacher knows that she brings the same passion and sincerity to her classroom. This year was my first having Ms. Geffers as a teacher, and it was obvious from day one that she truly loves her job. Her enthusiasm at 7 a.m. every day was greatly appreciated by my first period English class, partly because it made up for the lack of it on our end before the coffee kicked in. It was always obvious that Mrs. Geffers genuinely cared about her students, especially when it came for report cards. I'm not sure if there's a rule regarding the maximum number of characters allowed for comments, but Ms. Geffers would have broken it every time. That's just the type of person she is, always going above and beyond expectations. From the entire 2019 class, thank you, Mrs. Geffers.
Next, I would like to welcome Superintendent Dr. Amy Burdos to the stage, who will present the Certificate of Academic Excellence Award.
It is my pleasure on behalf of the Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents to present this award. This award is presented to a student that has been in academic excellence through all of their high school years. In addition, this particular individual has been active in athletics and many other clubs and activities, and has also been a very important voice as a student representative to our school committee for the last 2 years. This award goes to Kendall Millender.
Next, please join me in welcoming Foxboro High School's own guidance department head, Ms. Laureen White, who will present the Student Academic Awards.
Good evening. Yesterday, Foxboro High School class of 2019 top 10 students were honored by the United Regional Chamber of Commerce. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. Would these top 10 students come forward for recognition of your outstanding academic achievement? Could we have Nikki Abramson come up? Alexis Callan. Connor Hoyt. Kendall Millender. Mary Mitchell. Lindsay Nelson. Alexandra Quinn. William Regan. Jenna Stamatov. And Jacob Warius. Congratulations to the top 10 students of the 2019 Foxboro High School. In addition to the top 10 at the United Regional Chamber of Commerce Spotlight on Education breakfast yesterday, we chose an unsung hero. The characteristics of an unsung hero include humility, positivity, reliability, kindness, and respect. No one embodies these traits more than Lindsay Young, Foxboro High School's 2019 Unsung Hero. Although Lindsay's refined nature sometimes causes her great deeds to go unrecognized, she has made a profound impact on Foxboro High School's community. Lindsay is not one who craves the spotlight, but her consistent generosity has been noticed, respected, and appreciated. The world needs more people like Lindsay. Lindsay plans to attend Roger Williams University to pursue a degree in marketing. Foxboro High School thanks you, Lindsay Young, for all your contributions over the years, and we are honored to name you our unsung hero.
Next, please welcome back to the stage Miss Ellen Pillsbury, who will speak about this year's senior project.
Good evening again. I'm in charge of one of my projects that I do every year, is Senior Project. As seniors, our students here at Foxboro High School are given the opportunity to participate in a program called Senior Project. Senior Project presents an opportunity for students to volunteer to work with professionals in our community to gain real-world experience and information using interdisciplinary approaches while working on a project outside the traditional classroom. It is a way for students to give back to their community. This year, we had 59 seniors who participated in the program. Would the students who participated in Senior Project please stand? Congratulations, guys. The names of the Senior Project students, along with the community employers, will be posted in the Sun Chronicle. Thank you.
Next, please join me in welcoming Foxboro High School Assistant Principal, Miss Beth Sylvia.
Good evening. I am here in place of Miss Myers-Pakla, and she extends her congratulations to the members of the class of 2019 and their families. As she told the class earlier today, she is unable to attend this evening as she is at her own daughter's class night this evening. She will also be doing the same for me on Sunday, as I will be attending my daughter's graduation from Mansfield High School on Sunday and unable to attend our graduation. So, without ado, let's get to this. The MSAA Student Achievement Award. This award is presented by the Massachusetts School Administrators Association in recognition of outstanding contributions to the school. This year, Ms. Pakla is proud to present this award to Paulette Portamares Navarro. So now I get to embarrass her and talk about her. Paulette was born in beautiful Mexico. She lived there until she was 7 years old. The family moved to Texas. You'd like that, Superintendent Dr. Berdos. Then, to our great fortune, she moved to the town of Foxboro here in Massachusetts and chose to come to school to Foxboro High School. She's been a phenomenally positive addition in every respect. She has brightened our community and our high school. Paulette has been an outstanding student in our honors and AP curriculum. Her teachers comment on her remarkable confidence and poise, her innovative thinking, her leadership as an innovator and a dynamic student leader, her leadership as an athlete in soccer, track, and volleyball, and most of all, they speak of Paulette as a kind-hearted person, truly a person that thinks way beyond herself. Paulette states that I am passionate about everything I do, and my goal is to one day change the world and make it a better place. Her leadership in the WE Club here at school, her work on the Link Crew, mentoring younger students, her involvement in the Spanish National Honor Society and her National Honor Society tutoring, her many community services include Clothe a Child, Foxboro Street Painting, and volunteering at the Attleboro Arts Museum are just examples of her commitment to other people. Her resume doesn't even come close to describing all that she is. Her many accomplishments in making the world a better place and her awards speak to her hard work, perseverance, and passions. One of her most significant accomplishments has been her extensive research on the global citizen education and a remarkable curriculum proposal that she made to our faculty and administrators. As a result, Paulette was invited to address the school committee and present her global citizen education work. Without a doubt, Paulette is one of our best ambassadors. She embodies all that is good, truly a person for others. Paulette has deservingly been admitted to several prestigious colleges. However, in thinking about her further education, she has decided to take a gap year to pursue one of her many, many passions. While some may worry about a student taking a gap year, I know I, for one, and anybody that knows her, aren't worried at all. She has been writing lyrics from the time she was young, and I can tell you that Ms. Titmus and I can attest to that as we were serenaded just last week. She plays the guitar, she puts her words to music, but has had no formal music education in music composition. She has decided to take some time and become educated in music composition. We wish Paulette the very best in her gap year and her pursuits of music. Most likely, she will attend college in 2020. She may decide to further pursue music. All of this makes this young woman, Paulette Palomares Navarro, an outstanding candidate in every respect for the MSAA Student Achievement Award. Paulette knows we can change the world because she already has. Paulette, congratulations, and it truly is my honor to give you this award. The National Merit Scholarship Program, one of 1.5 million entrants, only 50,000 students with the highest selection index scores in critical reading, mathematics, plus writing qualify for the recognition in the National Merit Scholarship Program. I am pleased to announce that the following students have been recognized as commended students in the 2019 National Merit Scholarship Program: Kendall Melinda, Russell Neal, and Jacob Boreas. Before I introduce the students entering the military upon graduation, I ask at this time that any servicemen or women currently serving or have previously served in the armed forces please stand and allow us to thank you and recognize you today for your dedicated service. Now it's my pleasure to bring to the stage Matt Sharkey and Spencer Sanbento. Flank me. Spencer will be entering the U.S. Navy upon graduation from Foxboro High School, and Matt is an NROTC scholar. He is receiving a full 4-year scholarship to Penn State University and will be commissioned upon graduation from college. Please give them a round of applause. Now it is also my pleasure to introduce our valedictorian, Kendall Melender. She is the Vice President of the Student Council and Executive Board for a year. She is a National Honor Society member, Spanish National Honor Society, Massachusetts State competitor at DECA, varsity captain of the women's team, varsity swim team 4 years, publicity coordinator for Foxboro We Schools program, a bassoonist, wind ensemble, symphony orchestra, Dartmouth Book Award last year, biology academic excellence award, Spanish academic excellence award, advanced placement in U.S. history academic excellence award in 2018, school committee representative for 2 years. Kendall has volunteered and worked at the hospital regional with Dr. Anito Musa at the Dominican Republic, the YMCA Camp Foss, and Sturdy Memorial Hospital, has taught CCD for 3 years, taught bassoon lessons for a year. Kendall will be attending Dartmouth College next year. Now I'd like to introduce our salutatorian, Mary Mitchell. Mary Mitchell, National Honor Society, Spanish National Honor Society member president, Art National Honor Society president, Student Council rep 1 year, Advanced Placement Scholar Award, received Gold Key Scholastics in Art and Writing Award, Red Sky Studios Female Artist Showcase 2018, Cornell Book Award, Society of Women Engineers Certificate of Merit, Finish Strong Leadership Award, involvement in various school and community leadership projects, clubs, volunteer groups. Has been employed as a dog walker, child care provider, and a tutor. Mary will be attending Stanford University in the fall.
Good evening, and thank you for attending Class Night in honor of the Foxboro High School Class of 2019. I am so honored to represent my peers as salutatorian, and I would like to share some final remarks with the students who I have spent the last 12 years with, whom I am honored to call my friends. As a kid, I was fascinated by my father's choose-your-own-adventure books, battered and worn from readings of decades past, but preserved by love. Every few pages, they present the reader with a choice that changes the future plot of the story, like choosing to stroll down a woodland path or to take a route through town instead, and the wilder choices like facing an angry band of pirates or jumping into the ocean and swimming to safety. It was empowering to be able to decide the fates of the characters in these seemingly magical books, as the journeys of characters in other books I had encountered had already been decided by their authors. I spent hours following the paths of the stories, chasing my intuition, stopping short at the cliff-like dead ends, and scrambling to retrace my steps in search of the correct ending. As enticing as it was to be able to shape the story, it was also frustrating and at times frightening. I often found myself suffocated by indecision as I faced difficult choices farther into the story. Would this choice lead me closer to the story's end, or would it result in failure? Would I risk how far I've gotten in the book by making this decision? It was difficult to comprehend that all of the progress I had made could be rendered meaningless by just one choice. The journeys we face as high school comes to a close remind me of the twisting paths of prose in the choose-your-own-adventure books of my childhood. Whether you're planning to continue your education, to join the military, to jump into the working world, or to take some time to figure it out, I think that we have all felt a similar degree of concern about what comes next, regardless of the choice that we have made. Our lives, as we've known them, are changing for good, and we are all facing something scary and unknown. I sometimes find myself asking, have I made the right choice for me? Was there a better choice I could have made? Am I going to be somewhere I'll belong? I can bet that some, if not all of you, are wondering the same things too. And to be honest with you all, and with myself, the answer to those questions is that I don't know, and neither do you. We won't know if we have made the right decision for us until we are directly facing its outcome, until we are experiencing the results of that choice in the moment, turning the page to the next scene and facing what it brings head on. And while it is somewhat futile to dwell on the unknown, it's also incredibly exciting to face the future. We can't know if we've made the right choice for ourselves until it's our reality. So why worry about what it might be when we can enjoy what it will be? It will be different, and it will be challenging and hopefully fun, but we will always be able to start over if time reveals that it wasn't the right choice. And if we do have to start over, we will do so having learned from our original choice, and we can make an even better decision with the knowledge we have gained from it. Unlike the choose-your-own-adventure books, life has no correct ending or incorrect ending, and hopefully no angry band of pirates. It is somewhat simplistic to compare the end of high school to children's books, but I would like to remind my peers and myself that we have our whole lives ahead of us, and that the choice that we make after graduation is just one step in our story. I ask you all to face your futures with open minds and strong hearts, and to not feel ashamed if you need to flip back a few pages and try again. Class of 2019, I wish you the best of luck in choosing your own adventures. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Foxboro High School Assistant Principal, Mr. David Pierce.
Good evening. I'd like to call all the student leaders up to the stage, please. And I would like to present the Student Leadership Awards. First, President Paul Relier. Class President 2019, 2 years on Student Council, Marching Band, Concert Band, Wind Ensemble, Jazz Ensemble, Model Senate, National Honor Society. He worked as a karate instructor while training to become a third-degree black belt. Paul will be attending American University in Washington, D.C. this fall and study political science. Vice President Jacob Warius. 2 years as class vice president, Secretary of National Honor Society, played JV soccer, varsity hockey, ran track and cross country. He was a 2-year member of the math team, Rensselaer Medal Scholarship winner, and has various academic awards. Jacob will be attending Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute in the fall. Treasurer William Regan, Class Secretary for 2019, member of Student Council, National Honor Society Treasurer, Bryant Book Award winner for 2018, iSchool Advocates member, 4-year soccer player here at Foxboro High School, captain of winter and spring track long distance teams for all 4 years, ref soccer games for 7 years. We'll be attending Boston University this fall. And Class Secretary Matt Sharkey. Student Council President, Class Council Secretary, Foreign Language Club member, Model UN Club, President of that, Advanced Placement Scholar Award, received varsity letters for football, lacrosse, where he was a scholar athlete, and wrestling, volunteered with Homes for Our Troops, DAV 5K run, junior volunteer firefighter at the Foxboro Fire Department, CPR certified instructor, and assisted in coaching a middle school lacrosse team. School committee representative, was employed in various jobs, including owning his own landscaping business and interning at the Massachusetts State House. Member of and recipient of Academic Achievement Ribbon in the USC Cadet Corps. Matthew is attending Pennsylvania State University in the fall. And now I introduce Matt Sharkey, President of Student Council.
See, Mr. Rico, I told you I'd get this speech done on time. All right. Hello, everyone. Congratulations, class of 2019. We are almost done with our 4 years here at Foxboro High School. This audience, more than anything else, is full of potential. From Ivy League acceptances to union apprenticeships, we will all find our way. Some of us may not have found it yet, but that is okay. The spirit of the blue and gold is alive in all of us, and we all have the ability to make our mark in our own little piece of this world. Carry this same attitude with you in life. Shoot for the stars, because even if you miss, landing on the moon isn't so bad either. Much more than algebra or English, high school has taught us that not everything will work out perfectly. But as long as we persevere, we can all find a place to call home. I'm so proud to say that my home, even for a short time, was here with all of you. It would be too much to name every experience I've had here at Foxboro High, but there are certainly a few that stick out. From Fenway to the black and white dance, this has been an amazing 4 years, and most certainly senior year. It is for that I want to say thank you. Thank you to every faculty and community member that made this journey possible. Thank you to people like Ogie and Hunter for helping me not look like a fool on the sports field. Thank you to people like Julia Carangelo and Luke Burns for helping me understand math. Thank you to my family, and thank you to my best friends. From the Payson Playground to Shark Island, I wouldn't trade the memories I've made with you guys for anything. Foxboro High School, class of 2019, I will end on this note. This is something that I've carried with me since Mr. Heinrich was passing, and I know it was a quote that he always liked to say. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So, in ending, I would like to ask you to take these words and go on and do what the guy says. Like I said, this is an audience full of potential. The only unacceptable thing in life is to waste it. But I know from the bottom of my heart that we won't. And remember, if you stumble a little bit on the way, you still have the family and friends you've made here in Foxboro. Good luck and congratulations.
The National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution certifies that this student has been selected as the DAR Good Citizen of Foxboro High School for the current year, having demonstrated the qualities of dependability, service, leadership, and patriotism. This student will be attending George Washington University in the fall, Shaylin McCarthy. And now for our senior medallions. A senior medallion is awarded by each department to those students who showcase not only academic excellence in a subject, but also passion for the subject as well. To select the recipients of these awards, departments gather to look at the transcripts, clubs and activities, and examples of student work from deserving individuals. Ultimately, each student named tonight has been a leader in the classroom and shown mastery in the subject. After tonight, each student's name will be placed on the appropriate banner outside of the gym in recognition of their hard work and dedication. I would now like to introduce the department heads and lead teachers who will be presenting the awards. For business, Mr. John McCabe. For English, that's okay. For English, Ms. Shannon Wazalewski. For family and consumer science, Ms. Kristen Fischera. For math, Susan Carl. For the music department, Ms. Cami Tadoldi. For science, Ms. Alyssa Marcharnik. For social studies, Ms. Kristen Dorico. For tech ed, Mr. Ralph Tabona and Mr. John Orecchia. For the wellness department, Ms. Janelle Erskine. For world language, Ms. Christine Smith. And for the art department, Ms. Kelly Arcacha. Students, as I call your name, I ask you to take the place of the faculty members and stay up in front for pictures. First, the business department medallion is awarded to Elise Perillo. The English medallion for advanced placement literature goes to Patrick Pistatelli. For family and consumer science, the medallion is awarded to Lawrence Piazza. For the math department, the medallion goes to Brian Gardner. For the music department, the medallion goes to Connor Hoyt. For the science department, the medallion goes to Nikki Abramson. For the social studies medallion, Paul Relier. For technical education, the medallion goes to Cameron Morton. We have two recipients for the wellness medallions. First, Adam Langto. And the other medallion goes to Brianna Johnson. For the art department and world language department, the medallions both go to Mary Mitchell. Ladies and gentlemen, your medallion winners for 2019. There's one mention of a medallion for the PAVE medallion, Ryan Watson, who was not here tonight but would like to be recognized. We would also like to recognize Mary Mitchell for earning a silver medal on the National Spanish exam. We also have individual subject area awards in French. On behalf of the Massachusetts Foreign Language Association, we recognize Julia Muse, Annie Murphy, and Megan Curran. And from the American Association for Teachers of French, for Outstanding Senior in French Award, Shaylin McCarthy.
Next, please welcome Athletic Director, Mr. Rich Cormier, who will present the Athletic Awards.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening. I have the distinct honor of providing a couple athletic awards tonight. I'd like to congratulate the class of 2019 on a very successful 4 years. This year alone, the Warriors won league championships in girls soccer, which was our first since 1993, girls cross country, which is our first since 1992. We also won championships in field hockey, girls basketball, girls lacrosse, and boys lacrosse. Additionally, 20 of our teams have qualified for postseason play, hopefully 21 after tomorrow's baseball game, and our spring teams will be starting their tournament runs next week. We had 3 wrestlers crowned as sectional champs, and 2 were state champions, including senior Tommy Gallagher. Our cross-country and wrestling teams won statewide sportsmanship awards. And of course, we had our thrilling triple overtime win over Mansfield at Fenway Park in our annual Thanksgiving football game. It has been a great year and a great 4 years for this group of student athletes. I would personally like to thank all the student athletes who've worked hard day in and day out, battled through adversity, especially this fall. It was a very challenging fall without a field and the weather. But you continue to support one another through the good and the bad of each season. Your hard work, determination, and perseverance has paid off, and it will continue to do so as you take on new challenges and endeavors in the next chapters of your lives. I wish you all health, happiness, and success as you move forward. Our first athletic award is the Scholar Athlete Award. This award is presented to a male and female student athlete who have maintained excellence in the classroom and on the athletic field. Our 2 recipients have already been recognized at the Hockomock League Scholar Athlete Banquet earlier this month, but I'd like them to stand and be recognized once again on this special night. Our male Scholar Athlete is Will Regan. Will played soccer all 4 years, including 3 years on the varsity team, and competed all 4 years in winter and spring track, including serving as captain this past year in the winter and spring. He was a Hockomock All-Star this past winter. Will is a tremendously hard worker in athletics, but also in the classroom where he ranked 8th in the class. He is also treasurer of the National Honor Society and the class council, a member of the Spanish National Honor Society and Student Council. Will will be attending Boston University in the fall. Our female scholar athlete is Lexi Quinn. Lexi played soccer for 3 years before switching over to cross country as a senior, a move that paid off as she was the MVP of the Hockomock League this past season. Lexi has also participated in winter and spring track all 4 years, serving as captain as a senior, and she is a 6-time Hockomock League All-Star. Lexi is not only a tremendous athlete, but she's also a phenomenal artist and very involved in her school. She serves as secretary of the Spanish National Honor Society and the Art National Honor Society. She serves as historian of the World Language Club, is a member of Best Buddies and National Honor Society, and still finds time to volunteer in her community. Lexi is ranked 7th in the class and will be continuing her athletic and academic career at Tufts University in the fall. Our next athletic award is the Joseph Heinricher Blue and Gold Award. This award represents all of what made Joe Heinricher a special educator and leader. It is given to one male and one female student athlete who has represented leadership, integrity, perseverance, and sportsmanship over the last 4 years. Our female recipient is a young lady who is a 3-year varsity basketball player and a 4-year varsity softball player who was captain of both teams her senior year. She earned Hockomock All-Star recognition this past basketball season, and according to one coach, this young lady is a perfect example of true perseverance and integrity. She is a tremendous teammate, always encouraging and supporting. Additionally, she is incredibly involved in her school and community, including serving as treasurer of We Schools and the Spanish National Honor Society, vice president of DECA, and as a member of Best Buddies, National Honor Society, History Club, and Foreign Language Club. Her integrity, leadership, and positive sportsmanship make her an ideal candidate for this award. Next year, she will be attending Emerson College to continue her academics and her basketball career. Our first recipient of the Joseph Heinricher Award is Chelsea Gibbons. Our second recipient is a very appropriate one considering he just quoted Mr. Heinricher a few moments ago. This young man epitomizes character, integrity, sportsmanship, and leadership. He was a 4-year member of the football and wrestling programs and a 3-year member of our lacrosse program, thankfully coming back for his senior season. All of his coaches speak highly of his character, his leadership, and what he meant for their teams. One coach described him as the best teammate any coach could ask for, always performing before his given talents and patiently waiting for his turn to contribute. Not only is he a leader for our athletic teams, but he is also a leader in our school and community. He is president of the Student Council, serves as class secretary, leads the Model United Nations, participates in the Foreign Language Club, and is involved in the Foxboro Junior Firefighter Program, among other things. This year's recipient will be attending Penn State next year on an ROTC scholarship, where he will continue to serve his community and his country. Matt Sharkey. Our next award is the Alvin Stewart Spirit Award. It's named after the former athletic director, coach, and teacher, Alvin Stewart. He was known throughout Foxboro for his support of the Foxboro community. The award is given annually to the student who supports our community in a positive way and represents the values of Foxboro High School. This year's recipient is a young lady that is a two-sport athlete for the Warriors who has excelled on the field hockey and lacrosse fields while also ranking 12th in her class. She was captain and a league all-star for field hockey this past season and is a two-time league all-star in lacrosse as well as a two-time Eastern Mass all-star. And that does not even include hopefully getting another one this spring. She is a positive influence on her teams, her peers, and her community. She's a terrific role model for all our student athletes. For the past 3 years, she has represented our school at the MIAA as a student ambassador and spearheaded many fundraisers and drives during this time. She was one of only 6 students in all of New England to receive the Triple Impact Competitor Scholarship through the Positive Coaching Alliance. She possesses a great attitude, is willing to do whatever she can to help her team succeed, and most importantly, is constantly volunteering to help others. She serves as treasurer of Student Council and French National Honor Society, is a member of Best Buddies, DECA, and National Honor Society. Most impressively, she finds time to serve as the president of the Foxboro Interact Club that coordinates community service around the community. I'm sure that Mr. Stewart would be very proud of this year's recipient, who will be attending Princeton in the fall to continue her academics as well as her lacrosse career. Megan Curran. Our final award is the Warrior Award, or Athlete of the Year. This is given annually to the students who are recognized by the athletic department and the coaches as the best athletes in the class. This impressive young man is a terrific student, ranked 37th in the class, a great leader who served as captain of lacrosse his junior and senior years and hockey as a senior. He's a gifted athlete who works incredibly hard at everything he attempts. He is a 2-time Hockomock League All-Star in hockey and a 2-time Hockomock League All-Star in lacrosse, and again, hopefully another one this spring. He has helped lead our boys hockey team to their 2 best seasons in program history and back-to-back league titles for the boys lacrosse team. He has had as much impact on a team as any one individual could possibly have. Anyone who has watched him play either sport can immediately see what a talent he is and how much the other team focuses on trying to stop him. But more importantly, you would see that he played the game the right way, with incredible intensity and determination, while always displaying the utmost respect for his opponents, the officials, and his teammates. Additionally, he is a member of National Honor Society, DECA, and has volunteered his time widely coaching youth lacrosse. He will continue his academic and lacrosse career next year at Providence College. This year's Warrior of the Year is Brendan Tully. And last but not least, our female recipient is truly one of the most impressive student athletes I've witnessed in my 15 years working in high school athletics, thanks largely to her unparalleled work ethic and determination. Her coaches rave about her coachability, her leadership, and her devotion to the game and her teammates. It's truly just been awesome watching her compete for my 3 years here at Foxboro High School. She was captain of field hockey and lacrosse this past year, and her list of accomplishments is quite extensive. In field hockey, she is a 2-time league all-star and was the National Coaches Association Player of the Week as a junior. For lacrosse, she's the all-time leading scorer in school history. She's the only player that has over 200 career goals. She's been a 2-time Boston Globe and Boston Herald All-Scholastic, a 3-time league all-star, a 2-time league MVP, a 2-time Eastern Mass all-star, a 2-time All-American, including playing in the Under Armour All-American game in late June, and is currently on the USA's U19 national team. And all of this does not include anything that she might achieve or be recognized for in this current season. So this has already all happened. On top of all this, she is a member of Student Council and serves as the Community Service Coordinator for the National Honor Society, which includes delivering food from Wardsbury Farm to the Foxboro Food Pantry. She is truly an amazing young woman. She will be attending the University of Richmond in the fall to continue her studies and her lacrosse career. This year's recipient is Sophia DeCenzo. Thank you and best of luck.
I would like to invite Julia Carangelo up to the stage for the senior speech. Let me introduce you for a second. Just a few facts about Julia. She was in the National Honor Society as a junior and a senior, and is the National Honor Society president. Spanish National Honor Society publicity coordinator. Art National Honor Society historian. 3-year player for field hockey, including winning Best Defense Award. 3 years girls swim team, 3 years on the spring track team, Monumental Art Award, various school clubs, taught CCD for 2 years, and worked at Mass Premier Courts and Family Funway. Julia will attend the University of Connecticut to study marketing in the fall. Here's Julia Carangelo.
Good evening. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to take a moment to thank all of the parents, teachers, administrators, staff, and community members in the audience tonight for your continued support during our years in the Foxboro school system. I am here to discuss Foxboro High School's class of 2019, and as a member of this class, I can say with certainty that our class is one of the best to roam the halls here at Foxboro High. Now I understand that it is stereotypical to state that the class you graduate with is the best, because I am positive that all students feel that way about the people they graduate with. However, tonight I would like to celebrate the excellence that is the class of 2019 by showing you exactly why we are so great. Our class is the best because of the individuals we are made of, individuals who have striven for excellence. Just to prove my point, let me list off a few of our accomplishments. Our class is made up of individuals who ran a marathon, fed the homeless, achieved high honors all 4 years, volunteered in our community, won gold in the MICA competition, can do 15 push-ups, won a Scholastic Gold Key Award for art, will be a collegiate athlete, are accepting of others, are a Hockomock League champion, came to Foxboro High after moving from another state or country, advocate for social change, are a future Ivy League scholar, survived cancer, are brave enough to serve our country, held a part-time job, bleed blue and gold, are fluent in a second or third language, have a black belt, are a Special Olympics athlete, have succeeded in the face of adversity, are graduating this Sunday. That list is a small representation of the class of 2019, which I've grown up with for the past 12 years. And our list of accomplishments seems to have one key underlying factor. We are a class that understands the importance of hard work, dedication, and giving back. Perhaps it's because we are the last class to have been under the guidance of Mr. Heinricher. As we move on to the next chapter of our lives, we will continue to strive for excellence in his honor. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
Gentlemen, come on up.
So now we're going to talk about our class advisors a little bit who helped us out very much this year. So class council, unlike what a lot of people may assume, is really quite hard to handle. There's huge amounts of organization, money, and worst of all, dealing with the 4 of us. That being said, I do not think there could be a better example of how to successfully navigate all these obstacles than that which has been provided by Mrs. Macy, except for maybe you, Mr. Monty, sorry. Prom, pep rallies, fundraisers, and even this very event we are at right now would not have been possible without her help. In setting up all of these events, I have been able to go to her with any question, and I would always be met with a helpful answer, even if it was asking for a black and white ticket right before the dance. Mrs. Macy, thank you so much for all your hard work and dedication to making our 4 years here a memorable experience. The class of 2019 will be forever grateful.
purpose of our class council was to deliver the best experiences to our fantastic class of 2019. With Mr. Montanaro as one of our leaders, this purpose was always unambiguous and prominent in all the details. There is difficulty in describing how much work our advisors do for us, but in short, every celebration for this class was made possible by him, and so were the class shirts. These factors have created an unforgettable and joyous high school career. So, for this reason, on behalf of the entire class of 2019, thank you, Mr. Montanaro. We are eternally grateful.
At long last, thank you for joining us on this joyous occasion and for recognizing our efforts and achievements. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I look forward to seeing you all at graduation on June 2nd.
Still growing,